What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is going to be a 3v3 or a tag team arena takeover. We are currently on Pura's account. He is stuck on the silver tiers in the 3v3 arena. He is currently looking to move over into gold to be able to finish these missions and collect his Raman 2. Now, I would say he's one of the blessed guys, okay? Because honestly, his roster looks pretty decent. He has some very strong Void champions and non-Void champions. I would say a lucky guy, okay? Now, before we move over to talk about what teams we're going to select, what champions, before we're going to have a look at the builds that he has on his champions, I want to give you guys a couple of tips. First, I'm going to start with the gear, okay? Do not spread your gear around on all your champions. Make sure you're using your top gear on your top champions while you're creating your first team. You want to have at least one very solid team. The reason for it is because of your defense, okay? So we don't need to build only 12 champions because it's 3v3. We would actually have to build probably more than 12 champions, and not mainly for defense, but for offense. It's such a big diversity of champions and teams in 3v3 arena. We want to be sure we're able to tackle as many as possible. Now, a lot of times I'm not able on my own account to beat every single team, so I'm going to refresh the page and move to the next one. And the reason for it is because I'm not spreading my gear around on 3 different teams, because it doesn't matter how much money you're spending. If you're not literally farming gear non-stop for years, you're not going to have enough gear to build 3 solid teams, like the top of the top. Plus, when you're talking about defense, the reason why you want to have at least one solid team is to have some wins in your defense, okay? There is no defense in this game that cannot be beaten. There is no person in this game that will constantly win every single fight out of the 3 in the 3v3 arena defense, okay? Everybody has 1 loss, 2 losses, maybe 3 losses, depending on how good are his teams and depending on what opponents are actually attacking them, you know? So it's very important to make sure you are having at least 1 win on your 3v3. If not, you're gonna get the ranked super easy. A lot of people will farm you. So that's one of the tips, kind of like with branches, that I'm suggesting you to keep in mind. Second, if we're gonna come to his account right here, and we're gonna go to check the gear and the rest, we're actually gonna go straight at the glyphs. Well, he has no glyphs, okay? And if I'm gonna look on all the gear around, probably all the glyphs are spread around on every single piece of gear he got. Whenever he gets a new piece, he goes and he uses the glyph. Same with the speed glyph, the accuracy. And then when he actually needs to focus on building a champion, all those glyphs are spread around on 100 different pieces of gear that eventually he's not really gonna use because he has better ones, or he didn't really thought that he might change the build. So very important to keep your glyphs safe and use them wisely, because there is a massive shortage of glyphs, guys. We barely get any 6-star glyphs, you know? So very important to keep that in mind when you're using your glyphs. And when you're selecting your champions, always try to be on point with what you're doing. Be self-aware of what you're planning to do. If you gotta write them down on a list and be like, this is my team 1, this is my second team, my third team, write them on a list. I'm doing that. I have screenshots with my defenses to remember what to put every weekend. And if you're just gonna throw champions in there randomly and be like, yeah, this is gonna work, it's not gonna work, okay? So you're gonna wake up realizing that it's not working, okay? That's the reason why you stuck behind. Like, he has very solid champions, how I specified. I would have higher hopes for an account like this to be in a higher tier in the 3v3 arena. Now, I haven't done personally that in a while, and I know there are a lot of intimidating teams in the 3v3 arena. So I actually re-recorded this part because I felt like I missed a couple of things that I wanted to mention. I already rebuilt his knack rate. Now, he had his knack rate with around 12 to 15k less HP, but he had 100 more resistance. Now, one thing that I want to mention about this, either you're gonna go resistance, either you're not. Having a middle thing like 2, 3, 400 resistance is useless. Everybody's gonna have more accuracy than that. So that's not gonna help you. is just going to cripple your champions, and you're not going to have enough HP, especially on a shield set who needs to keep the rest of the team alive in an offense or in a defense, and you're going to get debuffed anyway. It's no point in using 300 or 400 resistance, no matter in what tier you are. If I'm going to look at the accuracy gear, which we're going to check in a minute, I'm positive that I'm going to be able to achieve at least 500 to 600 accuracy on one of these Madame series, you know? So it's very important to don't cripple your champions like this. Decide, I'm going full tank, I'm going full resistance, I'm going full attack, I'm going full defense. Kind of like make your mind with how you're building your champion. So that's his Necrot right here, his rebuild. I still haven't checked the masteries, but once I'm going to be done with all the champions at the end, I'm going to show them to you again while we're having the team selected. This is his Coronar on a stun set, a pretty weak build. Then we have his Lydia shield set, decentish build. I wouldn't call this amazing. We have Arbiter. This might be the best speed gear he has. I'm not sure how fast are the champions in the 3v3 arena on these tiers, but we're going to check that out. This is his Warlord. Yoshi, I don't think we're going to use Yoshi actually because it doesn't really work with what we have available. Mountain King, this is the build on Mountain King. We're definitely looking to change that. Then what else we have? Hundik, he might be one of the nukers we are going to use as well. Seal of the Drakes, pretty good revivers. We have Rotos right here, that's his current build. We have a Tranda, decent build, but it's kind of like no immunity, no savage, all broken. Maybe he doesn't have any of those sets, so we're gonna have to double check it. We have Foley. Then in terms of more support champions, Norok, it could be a potentially a champion for a Go Second team. We have a Molly Tankard, we have Duchess, we have Iron Brago, we have a Martyr, we have a Lysandra right here. Then what do we have? Madame series, 630 plus accuracy, guys. I've told you that he's gonna have that. So that resistance is useless, you know. Immunity Madame pretty decent. Sky Touch Shaman. And if we need more champions, we have Rector Dread. And probably, I think we have Seeker, we have Vogot, and Sunless Survivor. So we have a lot of champions to organize. Now, once you decide with the champions that you're going to use, with the teams that you're going to use, depending on your gear that you have available on your account, you might be able to make one speed team, okay? The other one will be like under 300 speed, and you're going to be like, well, I'm going to make a second speed team. Don't, okay? If you're relying on speed, you're not going to win the fight because you might be fast with one team, but your other two teams are slower and slower because you're kind of like spreading your gear, you know? And because of it, when you're going against opponents, you might think, well, I'm going to beat this team. He's slower for sure, but he's faster. So you gotta be prepared to go with Go Second teams to know that you have a much higher win rate than with the speed team that is kind of like roll the dice. Am I faster? Am I not? So probably we're going to make a speed team and we're going to make two Go Second teams for his account. They're going to work in offense. They're going to work in defense, you know? So we kind of had a look at how his champions are built. Let's have a quick look to see what teams he actually has for the 3v3 arena, out of curiosity, right? So if we're going to go right here, these are his teams. He has a Blender, he has a Go Second with Vogot and Rotos right here, and then he has a speed team. Now, I feel like he's not using all his arsenal. He's not using all his top champions in fighting the opponent. He could have better teams, like Blender comps are really not that great, you know? They are decent if you are super fast and you're 100% faster than the enemy. If we're going to have a quick look at his defense, for example, so let's check that out. We have one speed team, two speed teams, and we have a Go Second team. So these are his teams. Once I'm going to rebuild all the champions, I'm going to show you the builds, I'm going to show you the new teams, offense and defense, and we're going to do a couple of fights and kind of show you how to pick your opponent. Mission accomplished, guys. We rebuilt tons of champions. I think we're at a pretty good spot. So we've seen accurate before in terms of total stats. These are the masteries I have on him. I'm not going to show you total stats on every single champion, guys, because you're going to be able to see them right here on the screen. This is Arbiter. This was the maximum speed we were able to achieve on the account. These are the masteries on her. Tier 6, we have a Timely Intervention. Warlord, So we actually changed Warlord a bit. These are kind of like the total stats, immunity, and these are the masteries. Tier 6 we have Eagle Eye. How I specified he's missing glyphs, like literally no glyphs on most of these champions. Glyphs would take them to the next level. A very big improvement if we would have the glyphs available, of course. Mountain King, I built him for damage on a shield set. You see he's over 100k HP, pretty good speed, pretty good crit damage, crit rate, and masteries. We have tier 6 Ham Smasher. Moving over to the next champion, so was in between Hundig and Foley. Foley's not booked, has no masteries, so I had to go with Hundig. Plus, I kind of like him a bit more. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough Savage for all the champions, but he's on decent stats, over 5k attack. The speed is something that's a bit too low, but glyphing him, that's gonna improve a bit the speed. Masteries, tier 6, we have a Ham Smasher, kind of typical masteries for nukers. Rotos, now he got a huge change because he was so bad before. He's on almost 4.5k attack, savage, crit damage set, decent amount of crit damage. The HP is a bit low. Masteries, tier 6, we actually have Ham Smasher on him, and defense 3 for counter attack. Tranda, we managed to do a savage Tranda as well. Pretty good attack. I feel like she got the best build out of all the champions, and it's kind of like normal because she is the best overall. 5.8k attack, 260 plus crit damage, pretty solid. And in terms of masteries, that's kind of like what we got on her. Tier 6, we have Ham Smasher. If we're gonna go a bit lower to find some of the support champions, now I built his Molly, but since he doesn't have enough champions on immunity or anything like that, it's not really gonna benefit the team. And it's pretty much the same situation with the shield Molly. It's not really gonna benefit the team since you need to have immunity for your entire team in order to make it work, or have a very fast cleanser, which was not very achievable either. But that's the Molly that we built. These are the masteries we have on her. Tier 6 Eagle Eye. So I actually built a few extra champions just in case. We modified these Duchess as well. How I specified, guys, 400 resistance, it means nothing. So we actually made a fat Duchess, fat with the gear he had available. I'm actually gonna show you total stats for her. She gained like 30 plus k HP. She gained over 1k defense, and speed wise she's pretty decent the way she is. Masteries, I actually have timely intervention. That's why the speed we have on her is not such a problem. Moving over to the next champion. We managed to make a second champion over 300 speed, so he's actually pretty decent as a second speed team. You see a broken set and 2 speed sets. Masteries, we have Eagle Eye as tier 6. We want to have more accuracy on her to decrease the thermometer from the enemies. If we're gonna go a bit lower, that's pretty much in terms of legendaries. We changed both of the Madame series. We actually managed to gain over 50 more accuracy on this one. Masteries are going to be identical on both of the Madame series. Tier 6, we have Eagle Eye. We improved a bit the immunity Madame as well. We have almost over 550 accuracy for the immunity Madame. That can be pretty helpful when you're going against Hegemon teams, as a Go second team, use her against Torment teams, and you have quite a few different options out there. So this is the immunity Madame. We built Sky Touch Shaman to counter Torment teams as a second team, just in case if we have multiple teams where we need to use Necret and another champion that brings immunity to the entire team. And that's kind of like the build on her. I focused on speed and a decent amount of HP. This was kind of like the fastest speed we were able to achieve. Of course, look, everything can be glyphed to gain more speed. This is going to take him months to glyph all these champions, just for the simple fact that all the glyphs he had so far, they went to waste on bad pieces of gear. So that should be lesson number 1, guys. Lesson number 1. Masteries, tier 6, we have timely intervention. Then we actually built a Cardinal. She was built on a stone skin, but we actually gave her a decent build to be able to survive, to get damage from multiple nukers, because she is gonna be a key for Go second teams. Since we're doing 3v3, we're definitely gonna use pretty much 90% one team with Cardinal every single time, okay? So a stone skin set for Cardinal. Masteries, we have timely intervention, again, a very important thing there. If we're gonna go a bit lower, we actually rebuilt Rector Dread. We tried to tank her up. I tried to do a resistance one, but the maximum resistance we were able to achieve was 540, which is pretty useless. Definitely not worth it to try and do it. If I cannot get over 650 resistance, even for the tiers where we are, guys, is no point to do it. You've seen how much accuracy we were able to get on them and them. And the main thing is the perception and the forge. Since we have the forge, everybody can get tons of accuracy as long as you're doing your fashion wars and you're collecting the gear from there. So that's the Rector Dread that we managed to build. We have timely intervention as tier 6 on her as well. If we're gonna go a bit lower, we built one of the Seekers on a shield set. Now, I haven't done the masteries on him just yet, but probably I'm gonna have timely intervention on him too. So a shield Seeker, we're gonna be able to use him in defense. Decent speed. He's gonna be useful as go second team with a Sky Touch Shaman, for example, or different champions like with a Vogoth, a Mountain King, a Rector Dread, either for defense, either for offense. And the main thing about him is this passive right here. You gotta put him as the lead. You'll get more defense and increase defense on your champions when you get hit. So he's a very, very useful champion. We built a Gorgorap as a second Termiter booster for the second speed team in case if we get cut off. And most probably we're going to get cut off since the nukers are kind of like 180 speed. The buff strippers are at 210. We do need to have a second buff stripper if we're not going to lock them with Warlord. Mastery's timely intervention on this bad boy as well. And the last champion we have built is Vogoth. We made a shield Vogoth for defense and offense. Doesn't really matter on which part you're gonna use him, but he's still gonna be pretty badass. The best set we had available for him, I don't think we had anything better overall. He doesn't have a lot of swift parry gear, unfortunately. We were barely able to do one champion with that. Masteries on him, we actually have tier 6 Bulwark. Now, these are the champions that we rebuilt. I haven't actually bothered with Senless Survivor since we have so many options for go second. I feel like it's just going to get a bit more confusing if we're going to do that, you know? So the champions, they look much, much better overall, guys. If you've seen them at the beginning and now they're like massive changes. So you've seen the defense, you've seen his offense before. If we're going to have a quick look at the defense, so we have the first team right here. The reason I have Hundig in the team with Arbiter is because he's kind of gonna require attack up to deal more damage. He's not on Savage, so we need attack up for him to smash. And we have double Termiter booster in this team. Since the speed gap in between Arbiter and Warlord is a bit too big, they might get cut off. I want to have this team with the 2 Termiter boosters. Like this, they're gonna get tons of Termiter and they're gonna get their turn. On the second team, I have Lysandra, Warlord, Mountain King on the shield set just to protect us a bit. And we have that rundown Savage. She doesn't need attack up. She doesn't need defense down. She's just gonna slam. Warlord is gonna lock you. Arbiter is gonna steal your Termiter, give me increased speed, boost the Termiter on the team. So this is gonna be a very solid team as a second speed team. And we have the third team, go second, Duchess. We have Rotos, he destroys on Savage too. Necrot is gonna protect Rotos. We have Vogoth, so we have 2 champions on shield here. We're gonna be pretty solid. And that heal from Vogoth on the entire team is going to be very solid, especially on Rotos and Duchess, that hopefully they're not going to die. Now, depending on how you're going to get attacked, what sort of teams you're going to get. Now, in terms of battles and stuff, you see, we actually have quite a few crazy solid teams here. If we're looking like a bunch of strong teams overall, you know. So what I've done, I made a lot of presets. Some of them, they can be kind of like used at the same time. He's gonna have to adjust with the builds. He's gonna have to understand what all the champions do and how they synergize. That's something you can only learn by practicing. It's not something that I can make like this in a takeover, you know. So that's something that is gonna take time for you guys to learn. But basically, we made the first team right here. That's gonna do the job. Go second, go second, go second. So we kind of want to rely on 2 go second teams for offense mainly. Now, it depends on what sort of teams you attack. Like, for example, right here, we have a Hegemon, I need immunity. We have a Tormin, I need immunity. That's why 2 go second teams overall will be more efficient than speed teams, you know, because it's going to be harder for me to ensure that I'm going to be able to kill the teams without having any losses. I would prefer in offense to try and win most of the fights, you know, because if no, it's getting pretty nasty. So right here, if will be to attack this team, honestly, this will be kind of like a 50-50 win with my this go second team. I could actually use a different one instead. So even if I would go with this one, I should be able to survive. That Duchess might get a bit of damage, but if I'm gonna play it around in a different way to take out Madame Series and bring in Vogot, I'm gonna be able to deal with the first team. On the second one, I'm actually gonna have to go with Skytouch Shaman to cleanse the team from Tormin, and then to wreck that Kaimar. Most probably he's not gonna cut in between my Terminator Booster and Warlord. And on the other one, I could go pretty easy with a different go second team without stressing that much, since they don't really have any massive threat in that team, you know. So let's actually start putting in application what I just said. So I'm gonna take that out. We don't need her. We're gonna do like this. Now, a lot of these team presets, they need to be adjusted depending on the team you're fighting. I cannot fit enough combos of teams in the team preset. That's something that I'm always adjusting on my account as well. So I'm gonna take Lissandra out of here. I'm gonna bring a Skytouch Shaman. So let me just quickly find her. Let's put by rank. And that's gonna be pretty straightforward. Where is she? There we go. So we should be able to lock them like this. Then with Tranda, slowly kill them. The only problem here is that they have a lot of shields, so it's gonna be a bit harder to get them done, but it should be more than fine. It's kind of like my main point here, because I need the immunity. That Kaimar is gonna sleep me if I'm not fast enough, so I cannot allow them to cut on my team, you know. And right here, I can easily go with a go second, another speed team, sorry, and that should be pretty straightforward. Now let's see if I'm actually right or I'm just talking rubbish here, guys. Okay, that was a damage. No, it was not a damage one, actually. Okay, so Madame was a bit nasty here, kind of did a wrong thing. I'm gonna try to take nobody down because I couldn't. That's fine. But now it's kind of like game over. So that's it for this team. They just don't have enough power to kill it. When you have a Vogot in there, you have Rotos, you have Necret, it's just so hard to be able to kill these champions, you know? A lot of healing, a lot of support. And then Rotos is just gonna destroy everybody. It's not a super fast farm, but it's a very safe team, very efficient, you know? Okay, so let's see. Rotos should be doing the job. Almost. I think we had a tag down on him too. And right here, depending on how fast is that Kaimar, you see, it's not that fast. So I'm gonna boost with Arbiter. I'm gonna lock with him. I'm gonna cleanse with her just in case that Tormin can provoke or anything like that. And since they have quite a bit of shield, I'm actually gonna go with the A2. And I'm gonna use it on Krisk. And bang, just like that, we knocked the team. And I still have my main nuke skill from Tranda, which is gonna be the A3. I'm gonna use that now. And kind of like put them to sleep. That Tormin is on a swift parry set, so that's gonna delay me a bit. It can actually even cost you a fight if he's a well-built Torment to deal damage or anything like that. Can constantly provoke you. If you're gonna let it go on auto from here on, what's gonna happen is that all that Terminator boost that you're getting from Arbiter and stuff is gonna mess you up and is gonna freeze your champions, most likely. And the fight is gonna get longer. You might even lose the fight, you know. Sometimes I let it go on auto on my account, and it happens. You'll be surprised. And now, they're not fast enough for us. We got that down. Game over. So it took us 4 minutes. We beat all the 3 teams. Pretty straightforward. I want to use the team with Cardinal. You see, there are quite a few teams like that in defense. You see this one right here, again, can be a pretty annoying team to deal with. On this team, for example, I would go with Rotos to attack that one. I would go with the speed team here, and I would go with the go second team here. But right here, let's see what we can use. I wanna use some different teams. So if we're gonna go against this one, I wanna use actually the Cardinal team against that one. We can go with the Speed team as, yeah, so we can go like this, and like this. The other one with Mountain King it can be pretty solid, but it depends what teams you're fighting, you know. I feel like these three teams, they're gonna do a lot of work for the majority of teams we're gonna fight, you know. So even if they're doing that, doesn't really matter, honestly, because we're gonna be able to get that down from them, put the attack up, and I'm gonna go straight for Ursaga. Then I'm gonna try to take down a Rector Dread. I'm gonna use the A2. Hopefully it's not gonna be a weak hit. It was, unfortunately. We're gonna try to do that, and now we're gonna protect our Duchess with Necred because we're getting the extra turn. And I could let it go on auto, but we're gonna manual just to make sure everything is under control, you know. I'm still gonna try to take that Rector Dread down before Ursaga now. Just because if she's gonna start healing, that's gonna be a problem. And she's gonna decrease the cooldown of her revive, and again, that's gonna be another problem, you know. So once we're gonna get our turn with Rotos, hopefully we're not gonna weak hit, and we're gonna be able to take it down. On this one, for example, I could have went with the Mountain King instead of Madame Series and still have enough damage and slowly wreck the entire team, you know. That could have been a different option. I can let it go on auto from here, and then I would have had 2 damage dealers. The entire run was going to be a bit faster. Okay, so this Ursaga is going to delay us a little bit now because we have the attack down, we have the decreased crit damage from her. Nice. Bang, first team down. I want to use that Cardinal. Speed team here, pretty straightforward. Even if they're fast, they're not going to cut on us. No way they can do anything now, you know, except just go down like that. Pretty fast farm with that team. And here, they don't have a buff stripper, right? So I'm kind of waiting for them to kill my champions. Now, unfortunately, they kind of hit like nothing. Very weak champions. So I'm gonna have to actually revive with Gorgorab and give her a go. See what happens. Maybe they're gonna kill my champions now, you know, in the hope that they're gonna do it. But seems like they might not do it. Okay. I might even cut in front of them. No, I'm not. Okay. But that's fine. That happened. Now it's gonna be game over because I'm gonna revive with Cardinal and I'm gonna kill the rest though. And we go like this. Bang. That team wasn't really strong enough to deal with our Cardinal team. That's why a lot of times having a backup as a go second team like the other one that we have available, I'm not gonna do another fight, but having this as a go second can be very efficient as well. So that was all for the 3v3, guys. Very important to don't spread your gear around. Be aware with how you're using your glyphs. Don't waste your glyphs constantly. Try to stack them slowly if you know that you're going through a massive upgrade on artifacts, champions, and all that, because it will be pretty important. Try to understand the champions that you're comboing and try to understand the champions that you're going against. It's very important to know the game in order to be able to do good. Now, I'm very confident that he's going to be able to farm all these teams that he's going to encounter without a problem. He might have to skip a team time to time. But other than that, I think that we've done a pretty good job with the builds. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below what do you think. That was all for this video, guys. Hopefully you learned something new. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.